Hello everyone, welcome to Close Up on America's Business, the program that takes you inside some of the most unique and successful companies in America. I'm Janice Marie. On each edition of our show, you have the opportunity to meet some of the most innovative business leaders in the country today. You'll find out what their products, services, technologies, and business models can do for you, and what they're doing to change our world and to change the way we do business.
Many people have that one special piece of furniture, whether it be a family heirloom or priceless antique, or maybe just a very important piece with a lot of memories. And oftentimes, through age and the elements, scratches and dents, fading, and sometimes even fire and water damage can certainly take their toll on that very important piece to you and the family. Well, when you're looking for a company that does restoration authentically, that certainly can be a very daunting task. Hi, I'm Jim Masters, reporting from Manhattan, New York, for Close Up on America's Business. And recently I discovered a unique company on West 29th Street in Manhattan that does just that, authentic restorations and conservation for fine furniture. And I got a chance to see the work in progress and the craftsmanship by chatting with the company's owner, Elias Maldonado, and with his talented team.
Elias Conservation and Restoration, we perform work on site for private clients and private collectors, reconditioning antique furniture and customizing furniture and highlighting it and deluxing.
Could you tell us the difference between a finisher and a restoration expert?
A finisher will come in and he will give you a proposal for removing the entire finish off the piece and recoloring it and refinishing it. But when we're working with antique furniture, as we do in Elias Conservation and Restoration, we try to work with the existing finish by reconditioning it. We have special methods and solvents that we use to actually move around the existing finish and apply an additional coat, hand rub coat finish, which is called French polishing. After we French polish it, we steel wool and wax it. We recondition traditional antique furniture, historical pieces, ranging from gilded pieces, marquetry, inlay pieces, dating back from the 17th century to the 21st century. And the way we approach these pieces is by the style and the period when these pieces were created. We have a piece from like this 18th century, and it's an American piece. Right? Americans generally don't like a lot of sheen on their furniture. All right? And generally, what I mean by sheen is like the gloss would be 50% shiny. So the luster is not really glassy or glossy or coming at you. It's sort of like, looks like furniture that was really well taken care of. Doesn't look like new furniture. And where English furniture is more like a 75% sheen level. And they prefer their furniture to be a little more crispy. And they want the pores of the wood closed. French furniture, when we're working on French furniture, they like a lot of high gloss furniture because they make a lot of inlay and marquetry pieces. And when you're working with inlays and marquetries, the wood has to be really sealed in good, because the marquetry can lift if it's not sealed in properly. So this is one of the reasons why they like the furniture to be high gloss finish. We try to keep in sync with the modern day technology. So what we're using now, we're getting into more and more laminates. We're doing more shagreen pieces, parchment pieces, veneer pieces. So we're trying to not only do antiques furniture, but cover the whole industry as far as modern design. This is a Dutch marquetry games table. It was involved in a fire. It actually didn't get burned, but it suffered a lot of heavy water damage. Due to that water damage, top itself has been badly warped and also cracked in several areas, including straight down the center of it. The finish along the side appears to look like it's spoiled, but what it actually is, this is actually water damage. This finish itself could actually be saved. It's not something that has to be stripped. There are solvents that we can use to move around the existing finish. In this case particular, this finish on here is a shellac finish. Currently I'm working in Ralph Lauren home furniture collection. My involvement working with them is actually working with the development of the furniture, the prototypes of the furniture before they become marketable. So what they would do is they would have me prepare samples for them. After they design the first piece, I would be the one who do the finish on that piece. I also will be involved in superseeing that the piece is made right. You know, so in some cases, some of the pieces are not made using the right type of woods. They will actually hire me to come in as a consultant. One in particular was working for the Johns Hopkins Museum. I think the role should be to try to always work with the existing finish that you have. A lot of clients call several different companies to get different estimates, and not everybody knows what they're talking about. When I go into someone's house, I try to educate the client. I tell her about her pieces. I tell her how to take care of the piece. I tell her where to buy the materials, where she can buy the materials, and how many times it should be done. And I also provide demonstrations for the clients. This way, the client doesn't have to call me back 5 or 6 times a year. This table here is a green desk that came from another studio, another shop. It also repairs hides, leathers, laminates. This is a really bad job. It's here actually so that it could be redone. The client went and visited the studio where he had consigned someone to do the work on and restore it, was unhappy with the work, decided to have it done by Elias Conservation. And what we're going to be doing to this piece is we're going to be undoing the previous repairs and actually repairing it and touching it up and blending it in, making it more uniform in color. After we're all done, we're going to seal in the entire desk and give it a general waxing. I was really impressed with art at the time. So he invited me over to Sothebys. And I went over to Sothebys, and I was just like flabbergasted with all the art, precious art everywhere. We have $2 million chairs, $8 million chest-on-chest made by Chippendale. There's 3 of them made, and we have 1 of them there. And this is why it was for $8 million. These pieces were pieces that we got to work on. Valuable antiques, museum quality, basically conservation work. And this part of this training was teaching us how to distinguish furniture, such as English furniture from American from France. They would teach us to be able to tell what makes this American and what makes this English, and why is this English and why is this American. And we would have to point out those details. Also learn about how to authenticate pieces. Let us know if this is a copy or this is real. So all this was part of the training. At the same time, they teach us terminology. If we're working with French furniture, we will have to describe the furniture in French. Because Sothebys had the type of reputation that they invited the public into their studios. So they wanted to make sure that their craftsmen were educated, so if the public asked them any questions, they know how to describe the pieces and using the proper terminology. Serious water damage that sometimes occurs after a fire. Furniture that wasn't actually involved in the fire, but because of the firemen going in, they wet everything down, and a lot of the wood tends to swell up, and a lot of warpage goes on. So when we do the pieces like that, those pieces will have to come to the shop. When those pieces come to the shop, we clean them down, and we try to straighten out the warpage, and then we refinish those. Pieces that are involved in fire generally have to be refinished. Water damaged pieces don't necessarily have to be refinished. A lot of them can be reconditioned. One of the rules they have in auction houses is that you're allowed to alter an antique furniture up to 25%. If you alter it more than that, they won't allow it in the auction house. So you get a lot of pieces that have been restored from time to time. All these auction houses, they know about it, and that's why they allow only 25%, because they know if one time or another somebody was trying to take care of the piece and had to do something to it. It had to be altered.
Talked earlier about what makes you unique, but what makes you stand out from the competition?
What's different about my company is specialize in fine-tuning pieces. We'll go in there behind another company and we'll do the detailing and the fine-tuning. That's what Polo Ralph Lauren hires us for. They're having their furniture made by other companies, and they're hiring my company to come in twice a year to fine-tune everything.
With time-honored techniques, expert craftsmanship, pure skill, and authenticity, Elias Conservation and Restoration is considered one of the nation's top companies when it comes to furniture restoration and conservation. Reporting from Manhattan, New York, I'm Jim Masters for Close Up on America's Business.
Well, that does it for this edition of Close Up on America's Business. I'm Janice Marie. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.